Welcome back to another episode of Rockstar Reacts. It's your host, Rocstar2800, the most hated, the most opinionated, the most underrated. You know the truth. Like, comment, subscribe right now to this channel if you haven't already. Become a member, turn on your notifications, tap that bell, smash that like button, follow Smutfree TV on Instagram and TikTok. Hop in them comments. Why? Because every comment counts. And you know we got the hottest content in these internet streets, no cap. Let's get into this right here. Jaleec is back. Jaleec is back, man. After her allegations, accusations against Skinny from the Nine. She blocked me from Instagram. So, I can't see nothing. But a lot of people saying she's going at Wack. You know what I'm saying? So we about to dive into this and see what's really going on with Jaleec, man. Where she been at and what she got to say about Wacky Wack. And all I got to say about that is, I told you so. Yeah, I told you so. I knew this day was coming. We knew this day was coming. So let's get into the content at hand, man. This is Rockstar Reacts Smutfree TV. If you tuned in right now, give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let's go.
So basically, you know what I'm saying? Um, Shout out to Thug in the chat. Make sure y'all liking and subscribing. But I do want to say this. I know that this was brought forth publicly. Now you guys can say whatever you guys want to say about the situation. But remember, I never brought it to the internet. When I did subliminally speak about it, I never put a name on it. I never put a timestamp on it. I never said anything. You know what I'm saying? It was brief, whatever. Because obviously it was bothering me. You know what I'm saying? You just got to pay attention to detail. Boom. It came across Wack's desk. Let me tell y'all something about Wack. For months, I didn't tell anybody this because, see, one thing about me, I'm big on loyalty and I just respect, certain individuals just based on certain circumstances. So, like, I'm big on loyalty. I bleed it. You know what I'm saying? So Wack has been trying, y'all. If I'm lying, I'm flying for months to send people my way. I'm talking, man. I ain't even gonna put the names on who he tried to send my way. I'm talking about top rappers, top media personalities. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, top bloggers. I wasn't going because
Is she trying to say Wack is pimping her out? Was trying to pimp her out? Is that what she hinting at? The top rappers, the top media bloggers. Am I getting that Wack was trying to sell her off? Or pawn her off on somebody? Or hook her up? I'm confused. Yeah. I need to hear more. Let's go.
this narrative that you guys were trying to push, I was already like, whatever, allowing y'all to play with my name just a little bit in regards to that aspect. But I wasn't gonna give them the ammo that they needed to, you feel me, to feel like they had me. They had me like I wasn't gonna give them what they wanted. They needed something to have on me because my whole everything in my past was already exposed. They needed something new. They needed something fresh. So Wack kept sending them, kept sending them, kept sending them. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm talking about top rappers, top bloggers, top media. I'm not going. I'm not going. Straight up. I'm not going. Straight up. Boom. This situation finally transpires. Nobody knew about it besides the selected, like, besides maybe 2 to 3 people that I felt like I could trust about the situation. It was never supposed to hit the internet because it was never a clout chasing thing. It was never whatever you guys want to try to categorize it as. It was just reality. Wack needed something to have over me, and I wasn't giving him anything. Because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never trusted Wack. You can't trust somebody.
You never trusted Wack, but you go to bat for him and defended him to the utmost, and it's documented. And all I gotta say is, I told you so. I told you so. I'm gonna keep saying that. I'm gonna rub it in.
It's hard to trust somebody like Wack because like Wack is like unpredictable. And then like if you've been around Wack, then you can just I don't know if you guys are like into like energies and intuition and just reading body language, but every time he was around me, it was always like his energy was always off. You know what I'm saying? Then he would troll me in like a disrespectful manner. Then he would kind of like try to like
imagine being able to build anything.
Direct me into messing with certain individuals and I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? So with Wack, I never trusted Wack. like I know, like I kept it respectful on the internet just because I'm that type of person.
You kept it respectful on the internet, but you was getting disrespected in private. Come on, man.
Because like I don't like I just like certain things don't need to hit the internet because once it hits the internet and it hits the internet, I'm on go every single time. You feel me? I never trusted Wack. Wack can be trusted from the beginning because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a scenario. How he did AOF Nino, I didn't trust him after that. I remember we was at No Jumper one day, right? It was when I crashed the Adam and Wack show, right? I remember sitting there. I was overly intoxicated that day. But I remember sitting there. It was me, Stevie. I think Kreep came. Whatever. I can't remember. I remember. Big like I remember. Can't really remember too much, but I do remember like Wack walking that, and I was like, "Why you do Nino like that?" And he was like, "I don't know him." And I was like, "But you were on the internet pushing him, commenting on his posts. He was in his you was in his bio and so then Stevie was like, that is true through Wood. So me and Stevie was kind of like, trying to get like to the bottom of it because it's like, why would you make it seem when everything hit the fan with Nino, why did you kind of like make it seem however you made it seem? Whether Nino paid for his chain or not, you feel me? Or whatever the case may be in regards to that Cash Money West chain. It was neither here or there. You guys knew that Nino had that chain. 600 never said nothing about that chain. Wack never said nothing about that chain. As soon as the chain got confiscated, and then they went to the jeweler, and then they found out that it was whatever it was, and it was like whatever. It wasn't like a real chain. That's when Wack came on the internet. He said whatever he said. It just kind of threw me a little bit off because I remember Wack in the comments. I remember 600 posting, I remember him tagging, and I was like, yeah, I can't trust him. Straight up. Like, I would never trust him just based on that. You feel me? And so it was another situation, even with Nipsey Hussle. With the Nipsey Hussle situation and Wack, let me tell y'all something. Wack has something to do with like the start. I don't know verbatim. This is just what I'm hearing behind the scenes. He has something to do with like the start of Nipsey Hussle's career. He wanted all of us to go against Nipsey Hussle publicly, but it was like some of us really like grew up listening to Nipsey. Back in 2013, I was on Nipsey heavy. Nipsey.
If you don't knock it off, but I mean, she could be exposing some stuff. I mean, he could be pressing play to get people to smut. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, you was with it. You was with all that. Now you trying to cop please. Now you trying to expose and do. See me, that's the difference. I never was with none of that from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So go do your homework for real. But you just seem like now you just, oh yeah, Nipsey Hussle, he wanted us to, and I can't believe it, but then I can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, this is just content for you. So yeah, let me bring this up too. Let's go.
See Janae Aiko and Kendrick Lamar. That was like my era of like LA artists. You feel me? So more the story like with the whole Nipsey thing, even Creep said behind the scenes that, you know, he didn't understand why he was pushing that narrative with Nipsey Hussle, which he was never gonna get jiggy with that narrative with Nipsey Hussle. So like with me, I was looking at it like that. And then when I heard like the lore behind it, boom, I start analyzing it, I start depicting it, dissecting it, and I'm like, brother, he compromised Big U. You know what I'm saying? Like, he compromised Big U. And this is what I'm telling y'all what's going on behind the scenes. Because Wack has built his platform off manipulation, extortion, intimidation, and blackmail. Straight up. Giving it to y'all raw and uncut. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good analysis. That's a good analysis. You know, he claimed otherwise he wouldn't say that. But I mean, that's not a bad analysis. You know, keep it going. But it's crazy that it takes for all this for you to now say that and expose that when you should have just been on that from the jump. Like, come on. You thought it was an opportunity, and as you can see, nothing comes from it.
He has been exposed for being with transmissions. You know what I'm saying? And none of the blogs picked it up. Vaguely, but not like wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? He started breaking them off, threatening to sue, doing X, Y, and Z. Brother, you get on here popping it about everybody else. But when these transmission allegations hit the surface, hit the internet, brother, you don't got nothing to say. You mute mouth. You trying to take legal action. You know what I'm saying? Which he never took legal action because the rumors were true. Wack is an angry bird, blood. Wack is an angry bird. Let me tell you why he's an angry bird. Because he's in a closet and he can't come out the closet. You know what I'm saying? Blood is in a closet and can't come out the closet. So he's an angry bird, blood. You know what I'm saying?
Smart founders know something most people miss. Get your
So at the end of the day, and I'm not a setup artist. You can't name one dude that I've set up. You can't name one coffin that's resting on my conscience. But you can name multiple coffins that's resting on Wack's conscience, bro. Straight up. You can't call me a setup artist. I didn't get this far by being malicious or evil or not having pure intentions. I always had a genuine heart. I always came with, I always came with respect and loyalty. I was always crossed. You know what I'm saying? Wack is an angry bird. Dude has built his platform or his reputation. Dude think he the modern day Suge Knight, blood. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Dude think he Suge Knight, and really he the real Big U. Everything that they saying Big U is, Wack is really Big U, blood. Like y'all not paying attention because y'all so blindsided by how he's overly excessive and how he continues to troll, he continues to manipulate. He gets on Clubhouse with his cold little five. This is a whole bunch of nobodies on his Clubhouse. I'm talking about nobodies. Nobodies, duds. Like, brother. Like, you see them in traffic, you wouldn't even know.
But you was up in their room. You was all in their room. You was all playing the clubhouse game. You was big hunted side. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't even want to hear all that. Like it sound good. You know, you crying right now, or it might be just for content. You know, you might be back in Wack's presence in no time. Who knows? But you know, popping it like this is crazy. Let's go.
No, they was a part of the one the Wack clubhouse side. You feel me? They all does. Nobody's. Non-factors. You feel me? Boom. He got a little cult following on a clubhouse. Boom. So he brings his cult following wherever he goes because he's positioning them on Clubhouse. Mind you, he's not positioning them in reality. They not on the Blueface tour. You know what I'm saying? They're not at no jumper. You know what I'm saying? They're not on any podcasts. They're not doing interviews. They're just anonymous profiles on his Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude is pushing that. Then he runs that and it's live streamed on YouTube. So really he's reaping all of the benefits because as long as they're on his Clubhouse platform and he chimes in every hour, which I don't understand how a man that is such a businessman that's doing so good has so much time to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how a man that is a businessman has time to be on Clubhouse every single hour of the day. When I sat down with P Nice, he was like, "What is what's the thing with Clubhouse?" I'm like, "I don't." He like, "Ooh, they." I'm like, "I don't even know." I ain't gonna say too much about that conversation because P Nice, I don't know. P Nice ain't did nothing to show me anything malicious, so I'm not gonna speak on P Nice. But Wack came on P Nice's platform. It was all good, and as soon as he left, he started to disrespect Nipsey Hussle. Wack 100 don't know me. He don't know that I be playing the game. One thing I do is I'm a woman. I observe. I trust my intuition. I'm big on my spirituality. Dude don't bleed that. He reads books and he tries to master the art of manipulation through what he's reading. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, brother, when someone has that in them and they're not learning to have that power, you can't win with a person like that. With me, you're not gonna be able to intimidate me, manipulate me, extort me, blackmail me, or make me feel as if though, you're more superior than me because I know that this is not in you. It's on you because you're trying to perfect the art of that craft. You're malicious, you're evil, and that's why a lot of people don't trust you. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that book I can't say that book, but y'all know what I'm talking about. He definitely studied that book, and he's trying. He everything he's doing in the entertainment business. He knows what he's doing, and then he gets things on individuals. He gets huh.
So it's like she's not telling us nothing new. We already knew this. She act like he was God. Let's keep it real. She was praising this man, glazing him to the fullest. And now it's, oh, he does this, he's a manipulator, he does this, and he tried to send him at me and I wasn't going, and he has a card like, you're not telling us nothing new. We knew this. And we told you on Clubhouse in my room, Smutfree TV, hey, you gonna come back crying, you gonna come back telling us all this bad stuff and all this, because it never fails. Okay? So I really don't have no sympathy or empathy for this woman. But we're gonna continue on and see what else she got to say.
What's going on? So basically, That's what's going on. So Kreep is janky. Kreep was never like a real manager. Kreep always liked me.
Nah, Kreep, man. Nah, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Let's go.
Let's talk about that. Kreep always liked me. Boom. I remember, like, I did used to always call Kreep, confiding Kreep with the. He ended up putting me in a position. I'm like, you might as well just be my manager. Boom. He was kind of hesitant at first, and then he took on a position. But for like, I want to say, like for 5 months, Kreep didn't do anything for me. Boom. So I end up doing the footwork. So I'm like, okay, I gotta build my demand. Boom. I'm tucked off in my old spot in the middle of a mountain. Boom. One day I go to LA. That's when I link up with my peoples. I ain't gonna say too much, but I was with like Josh and then whatever. Josh, I think it was Josh Lush. I think his name is Camel Toe. I was with Germ. Shout out to Germ. That's my sis. But yeah, like I was with them, Mikey, whatever the case may be. So boom, that happened. And then I ended up with some other individuals that night. I think I was with so that night I ended up with Nino, whatever the case may be. Then boom. So fast forward, I ended up staying out there. I get on Creeps Live. Creeps like, please hit me, blah blah blah. Like let's do like a media run. And Creep did put me. Creep did do his 1-2. He lined up the P Nice thing with the P Nice show. He lined up the AD, the community with AD and House Phone. He didn't necessarily not line up the back on Fig. He like tried to, but then he told me to hit T-Rail. So I ended up hitting T-Rail, and then me and T-Rail ended up setting that up on the back end. More the story, but like it was good vibes with AD and House Phone. It was good vibes with T-Rail and Smack. It was good vibes with P Nice. So I have nothing bad to say about them. And they're, you know.
To Leo, buy one, get one snack.
I have nothing to say about them. I don't want to speak too highly of people because I feel like when I speak too highly of people, they always end up backdooring me. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I will say is, thus far, they have not shown any malicious intent, any backdoor activity, whatever the case may be. So shout out to them. But so we do the media round, whatever the case may be. That happens, and fast forward. So when the thing pop off with Skinny, I let Creep know because he's my manager at the time. So I'm letting Creep know, like, what's going on. I'm like, you feel me? Like, woo, woo, this happened, whatever case may be. Do woo. So he's sitting there quiet on the phone. I'm like updating him on everything. And he like, but mind you, I can't remember if it was before or after, but he was telling me he was going to go do a deal, or he was going to go like meet with the guy to do a deal for a podcast. And he wanted me to go. But I didn't go because I just didn't go. Like, more of the story. So Creep ends up securing this podcast deal. I don't, boom, he's whatever, he secures the deal. He's telling like Jaleec, you need to come. You are the content, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z, this and that. Boom. Whatever. I don't end up falling through. I think I'm still with 607 Nut. Because 607 Nut gave me my own show, Trenches Worldwide News. So I'm running the news segment on 607 Nut's platform. So I'm no longer with No Jumper. Like, that's been old news. You know what I'm saying? Like, which, and I'm not gonna slander No Jumper because No Jumper, even though they did pay me out to be an animal, most of the time that I was there, It taught me a lot. No Jumper taught me a lot. Adam did see something in me that, other people weren't seeing in me at the time. So I would never speak ill will on Adam. Now Wack didn't put me on. Adam put me on. You know what I'm saying? But Wack did introduce me to 607 Up. So I would have never spoke ill will on Wack, but then Wack just showed that because he couldn't control me behind the scenes, he tried to, you feel me? That's that intimidation, manipulation, extortion, blackmail that I've been telling y'all about that Wack has built his platform on or his name on. So basically, XYZ, all that is transpiring. Where am I going with this? Wait, where am I going with this? So basically, Kreep. I let Kreep know about the little skinny. Okay, I let Kreep know about the skinny situation. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. If you guys are new to the channel, I do apologize with the online chatter. But one thing about me is I'm not going. Like, you feel me? Like, y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta understand. Like, it's real people in this industry, and there's a lot of malicious, evil people in this industry. But I'm just tell y'all my truth because I live in my truth. I can't risk being exposed. So I tell Kreep, boom, 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 what's going on and how I'm feeling about the situation and how I feel like 607 Uncle feels, because I told 607 Uncle about the situation. And I'm like, I feel like dude took advantage of me, whatever the case may be. Boom, I tell Kreep. I'm updating Kreep because I haven't updated Kreep in a minute. So Kreep was like real quiet on the phone. I'm telling him all of this, y'all. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Kreep get real quiet on the phone. Then I'm like, yeah, some dude named Skinny from the Whoop. He get quiet. But I'm not knowing he know dude because I didn't even know who dude was because that ain't my type of music. I never listened to him. I never even knew he existed. I didn't even know dude like had $1 million deals or any of that because I was under the impression he had fake followers and he was a gambler / scammer. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. And he just kind of was throwing me off his little platform. But anyway, so when like Kreep got really quiet, boom, he was like, yeah, I know who that is. Skinny backdoor Flacco. Flacco was trying to buy Skinny's page. And so Flacco, I guess Kreep said that Flacco gave Skinny $20,000. Skinny, so I guess Flacco gave Skinny 20,000. This is what Kreep said. Then I'm gonna tell y'all what Yella said. Kreep said that he gave Skinny that Flacco gave. So basically, Kreep was with Skinny all the time. Mind you, I'm oblivious to this because I just met Kreep at No Jumper not like a year prior, and Skinny threw Yella and didn't even know Blood was like this multi-million-dollar rapper, whatever the case may be, or whatever he was, right? So Kreep is basically saying like he backdoored Flacco. Flacco gave him 20,000 and paid his rent for a year. Boom. I'm like, what? I'm like, he backdoored. I'm like, hold on, what's going? So he like, no, I believe you, Jaleec. Skinny been weird with the whoop. Like he was like, oh my goodness, like blah 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 X Y and Z. And I'm like, yeah, like I just like I don't even know. Like I was like, I've been so depressed about the situation. Like it's been bothering me. Like like it's just I just don't understand. Like I know I be getting faded, but to blackout is like on a whole nother level. Like you feel me? So I'm letting Kreep know because he's my manager at the time, whatever the case may be. Boom, Flacco. I don't think Flacco knew at this time. Something about Flacco popped up. No, Flacco was hitting me about Munchie. So when Flacco was hitting me about Munchie, it was something about Munchie. So I guess one YouTube clipper had reacted to Munchie. Boom, that happened, whatever the case may be. So I unlist my live was private, I unlisted. Boop. I make it public so Flacco can get whatever he's trying to get. And I was on the phone with Kreep like during this time, and I'm like, I need you to call Flacco though to see what's going on. Like, what is he trying to do? Because like, really, when I feel like I kind of do too much on lives or where I don't want things to get clipped, I unlist it. But unfortunately, these YouTube clippers be on these anonymous pages, these fake pages, and they got my notifications on. They clipping it. You feel me? So he like, I'm telling him to call Flacco. I'm telling him I'm gonna come to the little podcast thing in LA. He like, do you want me to tell Flacco about Skinny? I'm like, no, why would you do that? Like, why would you, like, that don't even make no sense. He threw me off when he asked me that. And he just threw me off because I'm like, brother, I'm telling you this on like a private note. Like, why would I want you to tell Flacco, like, you supposed to be my manager? Like, you kind of acting, you kind of like moving a little janky with that, but I kind of like, what is it? Whatever. So, boom. Kreep never called me back. So, fast forward. Wack gets exposed for being with a transmission a week later. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Blood. Wack get exposed for being with a transmission like a week later. So he got exposed March 4th, 2026 on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? He get exposed on Twitter. I'm oblivious to this because I'm still kind of like in a real depressive mind state. And I really don't know who to trust because I feel like a lot of these men in this entertainment realm want to control me and they need something on me. And they all of them have been trying to be my companion, but I wasn't going. So it's just a lot on my mind. School, kids, my career, just the situation with Skinny and how I just feel uneasy about the situation. So when the whole thing transpired with Wack, I'm oblivious to it. My partner called me like, but you see what's going on with Wack? I'm like, I don't know what he like, I don't know if I misconstrued what he was trying to say. He was basically saying something about Wack. But it kind of like went over my head or whatever. Later on that day, he called me again. Ooh, whatever place may be, Blood called me again. He like, Jaleec, did you not see the thing that's going on with Wack? I'm like, what's going on? Like, what? I'm like, but mind you, when I had quit 607 Unk Show the first time, it was because of the Skinny situation. I quit twice. You feel me? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all.
Man, get to the story. Just finish the story. I'm not about to watch this whole thing. She talked too much. Get to the story. Get to the point.
So the first time was because of the Skinny situation. I felt uneasy. I felt like nobody believed how I felt about the situation. And I just wanted to find peace within myself. And I wanted to get on with my life. And I wanted to just take it on the chin. Like, whatever transpired, it's out of my control. I was drunk. I blacked out. I was overly intoxicated. When I say I take accountability for allowing myself to be in that predicament. I take accountability for allowing myself to be around fans. Literally, Blood was a fan, is a fan. Like, anyway, so I'm just taking accountability. So I'm trying to already deal with this on the back end. So I'm telling Unk and Kreep about how I feel about the situation. And Unk is blatantly playing in my face. It becomes a problem with me. You feel me? So I fall back, I quit. Boom. When that happens, I don't tell Unk why I quit, but Unk has like, so me, Flacco, Kreep, Yella all end up on the phone that day. Yella calls me, Kreep texts me. So after Wack gets exposed for being with a transmission, this is all after Wack gets exposed for being with a transmission. Wack tries to switch the goalposts, but I'm not knowing Kreep done told Wack about this situation. You feel me? I'm oblivious at this point. So boom. The situation pop off with EBK Lebo, getting his chains confiscated. So I'm covering that. I'm heavy in the Northern California politics because I'm from Northern California. I don't cover LA. So I'm heavy and that is going overly viral. Everybody tapping in with me. We going up, we do whatever case may be. Shots to my little brother Hill Cali, shots to West Coast Gang Wars. We overly viral at this point. You feel me? We covering every angle of this story. So boom, when Yella called me, I'm oblivious. Like, I'm thinking he calling about the EBK Lebo situation. Blood, get the what's going on with you? I'm like, hold on, what's going on? He talking about a YouTuber clipping our live from when we was subliminally talking about the situation. I was like, what are you talking about? Then he like, Flacco just hit, I don't want to say too much. Flacco just hit Skinny, right? So when Flacco hit Skinny's with Yella. So Yella called me tripping. She like, oh, this is attached to Yella, like, this is attached to my name. I don't want this attached to my name, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. I'm like, brother, like, chill. I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't want this on the internet. I feel how I feel about the situation behind the scenes. So I'm like, look, then he like, oh, they talking about some, you got the R word. I'm like, I never said I got the R word. You feel me? I take full accountability for being intoxicated. Listen to what I'm saying and stop trying to do selective hearing or nitpick at what I'm saying. I'm telling y'all the truth. So y'all like, dude, I don't need this attached to my name. This is attached to my name. But mind you, he with blood every day. You feel me? So it was gonna be attached to his name regardless. You feel me? So, boom. I end up looking at my messages because my message notifications are Kreep text me like, get on this phone with me and Flacco. I'm like, get on the phone with you and Flack. Get on the phone. So boom, I get on. I instantly FaceTime Kreep and Flacco. We on FaceTime. They basically telling me to like come out with the story. And I'm like, no, don't cover the story. I don't want this on the internet. I don't want nobody to talk about this. Leave it alone. I know, like, you feel me? I'm dealing with this on the back end. Boom. They're trying to run content on it. But Kreep basically saying, like, let Flacco get ahead of the content. And I'm like, how did Flacco know about this, though, Kreep? Exactly what I asked Kreep. Flacco acting like Kreep didn't tell him. Come on, blood, it's not rocket science. Unless told him, only Kreep and Josh knew about the situation. Straight up, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. There's no way Flacco knew about the situation. I vented to Kreep, I vented to Josh, I vented to about the situation. So Flacco knowing about the situation just threw me off. Then when they said that one blood clipped it, I'm like, blood, how did he know to clip that specific part? Y'all talking behind the scenes and y'all acting like I'm oblivious to what play y'all trying to run. You feel me? So boom. Basically, I'm on Kreep and Flock. I'm like, Flock, don't run no like, what are you doing? Boom, I add yelling to the call. Not even knowing, prior to us being on a FaceTime call, that's the FaceTime call that's going viral. With me saying, oh, he didn't R-word me, whoop, I take food. That was that same day. The whole time Skinny recording the conversation. Skinny, what are you recording the conversation for, blood? Like, it's just the way that they was moving was so janky when in reality, I never went to the internet. They went to the internet. I never went to the internet. I'm dealing with this behind the scenes. I'm thinking I'm dealing with it behind the scenes. But you gotta understand, I'm in a male-dominated environment. And these men can't control me. So they feel like they got something that can control me. Brother, if we going all out, we going all out. You feel me? So boom, I add yelling to the call with me, Flock, and Kreep. Whatever the case may be. Yellow kind of spazzing on Flacco and Kreep. But the whole time, Yellow had an ulterior motive. I was already recorded. Our FaceTime call was already recorded prior to me adding him to the FaceTime call with me, Flock and Kreep. He already had Skinny recording the call. You feel me?
Turns out if you've been in a car accident.
I think I'm done with her, man. I'm done with her. This was long. You know, more of the story is Kreep crossed her. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because that was her man's. But like she said, he liked her from the beginning. She was confiding in him, fake flirting, but never really liked him. You know, probably promised him some, you know, and he never got it. So he turned on her. Same thing with Wack, man. You know, I told her. We all told her in my room. You know, unfortunately, she had to learn the hard way. And she gonna keep learning. Because they ain't finna stop now. They finna go crazy on her. Welcome to the show, Jaleec. You know what I'm saying? But, with that being said, man, I don't feel sorry for this girl. You know, she knew what she got herself into. Now you gotta get yourself out and climb yourself out, man. You know what I'm saying? You did this to yourself. You know? You want to pick a side and you want to hop in this content game head first and be buddy with everybody. That's on you. Like I said, I told you so. I hate to say it, but I did. With that being said, what y'all think about this video? Give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe right now to this channel if you haven't already. Become a member. Turn on your notifications. Tap that bell. Smash that like button. Follow Smutfree TV on Instagram and TikTok. Hop in them comments. Why? Because every comment counts. And you know we got the hottest content in these internet streets. No cap. Stay tuned for more Rockstar Reacts right here on Smutfree TV. Gone.